Off mute. All right. Are we on?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear? What is happening? Oh, we got us? Okay.
Do we have volume?
We're good. All right.
On. Excellent. I'm so sorry. I just bring bad luck everywhere. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to opening weekend. It's a quiet weekend here. Perhaps a little bit too quiet with our audio issues that we've been experiencing. You know, we were hoping that it would just be... Lauren and I were here doing a lovely opening weekend tour with you. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties with our microphone at the moment. But welcome to Catskill Animal Sanctuary for the start of our virtual season officially. So we are going to be offering more and more of these virtual visits throughout April and May at the very least. I'm Kaden, and I'm going to be taking you around for about 45 minutes today. And yeah, sorry we lost the first 5. I hope you're still sticking with us. And our first stop this morning is going to be with some buns who have decided that they're going to go inside their house at the moment. But we do have my absolute favorite guy. I'm going to go on in here with a bird who, if you know him, guess his name in the comments. I named them. No! Albert! Albert! Albert!
We do have a comment already. Heather wants to know if that is Howard that she hears having a fit.
Yes, that is absolutely Howard, who is having a fit in the background. Howard is our crankiest turkey here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary, except for Declan. Declan also wins the title of most beautiful turkey. Hello, Mr. Bobby Buns. Mr. Bobby Buns. So we have here my very favorite bun of Catskill Animal Sanctuary, Bobby. No offense to Christian, who's also my very favorite bun of Catskill Animal Sanctuary. And we're going to talk a little bit about them in a second. I want to give you a little bit of a back history of the sanctuary, just so that you get a feel. If you're just tuning in, maybe you're haven't had a chance to come and visit us here before. But Catskill Animal Sanctuary, we've been around since 2001. And we've got about 300 rescued animals here on a property that's just under 150 acres. So we are going to be sticking a little bit closer to the main barn for today's opening weekend virtual tour. And you are welcome as we go and meet all of the residents. Type in any questions you want me to answer in the comments. And we may save a few of those questions to be answered this afternoon with Kathy Stevens, our founder, who's doing a special opening weekend founder tour here. But yeah, it's a little bit of a chilly morning here at the sanctuary, a little bit gray, but I can smell spring almost coming. I can feel the allergies setting in. No, come back, Bobby. One of the number 1 rules here for our virtual visits as well as our in-person visits is that this is entirely led by our animals in many, many respects. So what they want to do, they're going to do, and that may mean that they're going to bounce away from me, and then maybe they're going to come back. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Mr. Bobsters? And they may interrupt if they have something to say. Like Robin Hood, who's usually got something to say, and honestly, there's going to be a hen who's going to come out soon. I'm pretty sure Ruth, who's got 100 complaints to issue at any given moment, even though her life now is pretty good. Yeah, if you heard that was Ruth issuing one of her many complaints here. So I want to say hi to Bobby. What do you think? I'm going to get pretty dirty on today's tour, I think, because all of our friends here are pretty low to the ground, so I'm just going to embrace it. We are a sanctuary that exclusively rescues farmed animals, and some farmed animal sanctuaries will actively rescue rabbits. We do not rescue rabbits as one of our main species. However, these two were a bit of a surprise for us. So Bobby, who I'm petting right here, He's such a sweetheart. He likes a little bit of a cheek scrub, right? You like a little bit of a cheek scrub. Bobby and his brother, Christian, he's not as social and outgoing as Bobby is. They were a huge surprise in January of 2019. It was a Saturday. It was very, very early January, and we were doing a cooking class up at our homestead, the bed and breakfast on site. And two of our lovely Compassionate Cuisine students walked outside and saw a paper bag in our driveway, and they decided to go up to the bag and see what was in it. Unfortunately, there were 2 buns in the bag. We're very, very lucky that they had not hopped out of the bag before anyone found them. We're lucky, that they are here safe with us today. So they were dumped here, which we absolutely do not want people to do. They easily could have been picked up by a predator. They could have gotten lost and they wouldn't have been able to make it out there. But we're super, super thankful to have these brothers here. They were probably just under a year old when they were dropped off. They weren't quite their full size. And we have since neutered them. They're a little bonded pair. Hi, good boy. They're eating some lovely fresh hay this morning, right? And Christian's we've got the double bun pat going on in a nice little circle. They are just the most precious. And they're pretty good climbers as well. So when they were first rescued, when they were first dumped here, we didn't want to put them outside yet as they adjusted. So they were living in our barn office, which is home to a lot of our little quarantiners. Oh, look, yeah, we got to put our guys in quarantine when they arrive here now, just like we're all putting ourselves in quarantine. But they were hanging out in the barn office, and there's some big shelves in there, and these guys would just climb the shelves and hop all around. They're just very adventurous and athletic buddies. They live in here with 2 chickens who I'm hoping are going to come out and say hi to us real soon. And I want you guys to guess in the comments for me, what are some of the similarities between the lives of chickens and rabbits on farms? And also, what do they both have to do with this time of year? So leave a few guesses in the comments, and I'm going to loop back around to that. Bob's first. Here you go. Go, Bob. Oh, we're hiding behind me. Are we feeling a little bit shy this morning? What do we think? And I'm also just going to point out here, we've got this lovely bun ton, where the bunnies can hop in, and we put some hay in there and some treats for them to find, and they'll hop around, and they just got a little bit of an enrichment tunnel over there. So Bobby might hop in his bun ton at the moment. We'll see. What do you think? Do we have any guesses about what the similarities between our bunny friends and our chicken friends are?
We have, Catherine says they both shed.
They do both shed in a way, for sure. So the chickens will definitely lose their feathers so that they can grow in new ones. Oh, we're doing a little backup. Doing a backup bun because Christian's going in the other way. And here we have one of our lovely rooster friends, Al. He's coming through. Are you gonna come say hi to me, handsome guy? Come here. What do you think? Come here. So they do both shed. Do we have a few more guesses of some similarities? So, one of the biggest similarities that we've got with these guys for this time of year is that unfortunately both bunnies and chickens are being brought up as little babies for Easter presents, which does mean that around summertime we start to see more requests for us to take in some chickens and some bunnies who are no longer wanted. So we definitely have these buds who have arrived at us as sort of unwanted companions from time to time. We've also, I want to get a little bit of a better, how's our view on Al, Lauren?
He is Very handsome, as always.
Yes.
Pull this over here. And we did have, actually, before you started saying about all that, we did have a question that was about the bunnies. Do you think they could have been Christmas presents that were dumped?
It's definitely a possibility that they were Christmas presents who were dumped. They were not tiny babies when we got them, but that doesn't mean that somebody didn't buy them as closer to adult rabbits for Christmas. They could have been a birthday present. But definitely the fact that they were probably just under a year indicates that they were a little bit more of an impulse buy rather than a rescue who was intended to be a part of the family for the rest of their lives. You know, bunnies can live quite a long time, around 10 years. Sometimes even longer than that. And so, you know, they really are just like a cat or a dog. They're meant to be a family member for life. So we recommend that if you are interested in welcoming them into your life and taking on that responsibility, you know, look for rescues near you, shelters who have rabbits who are in need of rescue, rather than buying them from a pet store on sort of a whim and then not realizing that they are still a good bit of responsibility. I'm pretty sure we also had another question in there, which was, who is the most handsome chicken at Catskill Animal Sanctuary?
We did have someone ask that question earlier.
Could it have been me?
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely submitted a question at the beginning. Al is my absolute favorite rooster here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary. He's a guy who likes a good butt scratch. What do you think? Oh, yes. It's a very good butt scratch. Such a good butt scratch. You could see when you pet a chicken and they really enjoy wherever you're petting them, a lot of them will start to gently like kind of clap their beak a little bit and preen themselves, which is what Al is doing. It's essentially the chicken equivalent of when a dog is getting their belly rubbed and then you hit just the right spot and they start to kick their leg. That's what Al is doing right now. And he's a little rough around the edges, but I think he's just the most beautiful. He's just the absolute most beautiful chicken out there. I'm not entirely sure what we're talking about right now. Usually I can see what's being referenced.
A small bird just flew over our heads.
Yeah, a lot of the roosters had something to say about that. I don't know if you could hear the others in the background. But yeah, Al definitely was keeping an eye out even while he preened and got scratched for all of that. Al is a Cornish cross chicken. Yes, we have a question.
We have two questions, in fact.
Awesome.
So first, I'll ask the one, do the bunnies get along really well with the chickens? And that is from Sean.
Yes, absolutely. The bunnies and the two chickens who they live with get along really well. Al can definitely get on the bunnies' nerves from time to time. For example, if I'm coming in here and I'm hanging out with the buns and I'm just like trying to have a nice little bunny cuddle session, Al is just the star of the show. So a lot of times he'll be very excited and he'll come sort of like running over in awkward chicken style with just so much enthusiasm and not a lot of regard for where his feet are landing. And then he can be a little bit of a burden to the buns, but otherwise, you know, he treats them really well. It's just that he's a bit clumsy from time to time. So the bunnies know, oh, if Al is excited, we'll just go to the corner. And let him sort of stampede his way through and settle down. And then we'll come back out and eat some more grass. But yeah, they're pretty good buds. And Ruth in here, who I'm hoping is going to come out. Ruth is also friends with the bunnies. And we have another question.
Yes, which Michelle asks, what are the bandages on Al's feet for?
Excellent question, Michelle. I had actually written that question in to ask my audience. So if you do have a guess, real quick, type something into the comments if you think you know what the bandages on Al's feet are for. And aren't they stylish? He's wearing pink today. Sometimes he wears blue, green, orange. It's all vet wrap. So it's sort of the same stuff that you would get put on you if you want to just kind of wrap some gauze around like a limb or something so it kind of grips to itself. Do we have any guesses? No guesses? That's fine. I'm going to answer. Al is wearing a wrap around each of his feet because Al has something called bumblefoot. And it's basically a little bit of a pressure sore on the bottom of a chicken's foot that is caused by that is caused by getting small abrasions that then from walking around that then kind of like get a little bit worse. And so when you get a very early stage of bumblefoot, what we would do is we'd clean it out, medicate it, wrap it up, and hopefully it'll heal on its own. But our bigger birds like Al can deal with it as a little bit more of a long-term issue. So Al has actually gotten surgeries to treat his bumblefoot, but it does unfortunately just keep coming back for him. So his is a lifelong struggle at this point. And the reason is that Al is honestly, he's one of our oldest birds of this breed. So he is a Cornish cross chicken. Hi, Dad. Yes. Oh, oh yes.
And by the way, we did actually have an answer, which was sent in afterwards. And he has those on his feet to add to his fabulosity.
It does add to his fabulosity.
It's very
I have to
stylish.
say. Yes, I love that he gets to wear bright colors. If I'm gonna be honest, I think I prefer him in blue. I think it's a little bit more of his color, but you know, pink, you can rock it out. You really can. He looks good in everything, to be honest. But as a Cornish cross chicken, and I think he might be about to do a poo. We'll see. As a Cornish cross chicken, Al is someone who is bred to get to the size that he was going to be killed at. Shh, don't listen, Al. When he was only 6 weeks old. So he would have already been a really big bird as a 6-week-old baby who still had baby blue eyes and a little peeping voice. And then after that, he just kept growing because of how people have bred birds like Al for chicken farming. And so he does deal with some issues related to having grown so big so quickly. And a lot of those issues have to do with like arthritis in his legs and his feet, being more likely to get bumblefoot. And we also have to keep a close eye out on sort of his general heart health as well. But you know what? He's doing really well. He's definitely a fighter. He's definitely got so much love for life and for his sponsors. I'm hoping that Al's sponsors are watching today because I know they're big fans of him. Or maybe they're going to watch the recorded version of our little live stream here. Ruth is not quite out yet, but I think she might be coming. So I'm going to just crawl in there and see if I can lure out this lady who's just feeling a little bit grumpy about the morning. She's not a morning bird. She's not an afternoon bird. She's not an evening bird. And you can hear her talking. I hope you can hear her talking, just going, "Rah!" Ruthie! Honestly, I've got a helping hand at the moment. This is Ruth. Hi, beautiful bird. Hello. What do you think? Want to come out and say hello? Do you want to come out and say hello? Oh, yeah. Ruth is a Cornish cross hen. So she's the hen version of Al. They are both chickens. Chickens are both hens and roosters. So chickens is the breed, and then hens are the female chickens, and roosters are the male chickens. Just as a little bit of fun educational tidbit there. Listen to those complaints. I love her. She is not afraid to express herself. She has been complaining from day one here. And actually, she's got good reason. I think Lauren is going to put up a photo of Ruth when she was just rescued. You had a tough start. I am not going to lie. You had a pretty tough start. Because that is what we do here. We take those animals who are, they're kind of worn down. They haven't been treated well. They have been neglected. And they are in just such desperate need of, first, just medical care, food, basic necessities. And then the love that will help them. Help them kind of grow into a full life once they're at sanctuary. Ruth had no feathers on her back. Her back was torn up and infected. We weren't even sure if she was ever going to be able to grow feathers back. So she came into the office. She was being quarantined. She was actually being quarantined in our main office where we do, all of our conference calls, all of that good stuff. And you could just hear her on the back of the phone. She just had, you interrupted every single phone call, I think. It was a pretty good record, Ruthie. It was a pretty good record. And she has not stopped complaining since. And that level of just like tenacity, I'm going to let you know what I think helped her grow back her feathers. I don't know. That might not be science. But she is looking fully feathered and beautiful right now. And she's actually a pretty happy bird. So she's definitely a chatter, but you could see her out here on a sunny day just like sprawled out enjoying a sun bath, dust bathing, which is how they clean themselves, cuddled up next to a bunny or so. You're a very good bird and you're so happy to have you here, Ruth. So I think we should go and look for some foots and maybe get a little bit of a PSA from Kathy here, because I see her around the corner and I think she wants to introduce her 1 p.m. virtual tour today. So we're going to head this way. Bye, Christian. Kathy locked us in here.
Yes. Ooh, what should I ask for? Oh, I'm not being socially distant. Damn it.
This is live, too.
Hi, everybody. Very excited to be here today, though this is a bit different for all of us, as Kaden was explaining, and as some of you surely know, because we look forward to welcoming you every year. I know some of you have been here 10, 12 years in a row, the first Saturday in April. So we're doing the best we can, and at 1 o'clock, I am going to take you back to the very beginning, to the story of an iconic animal named Rambo, whose influence is still felt today. See ya in an hour-ish?
See you
At 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock.
Don't lock us in,
I'm
Kathy.
locking you in. This is
Kelly would let us out. It's okay. Kelly's over here.
Would I let you out?
Please.
Let me think about that.
Kelly is throwing some fresh produce in here for our birds and our buns to enjoy. And the birds are definitely claiming it at the moment. We got a great produce donation the other day from some folks at Newburgh Food Not Bombs. Oh my goodness. Bunnies. These lobsters. Ruth, do we share? Al, do we share? We share. Sometimes we need a little bit of help and encouragement in terms of sharing, because sometimes our enthusiasm is just so high that we really want those greens. So take a note from the chickens. Greens are good, delicious, and excellent for you. Christian, go over here. Christian, I can't put you over there. You gotta go. Oh, yes, Christian, go. You got this. Go, Christian. You got this, Christian. I know, taunt Ruthie. This is why she has complaints in life. She got her serving, but now she's not allowed to steal the bun's serving. And this is it's a rough life. It's a rough life to be a Ruthie.
And boy, the difference in the pace at which they eat does not make this easy for the poor chickens.
Yeah, the buns will happily just sit there and enjoy themselves. Do we want to do sharing? Okay, we're going to do some sharing now. Ruth is going to win. We're going to let them go, and we're going to go see if we can say hi to some pigs.
I'll probably lose her again by the time we're there, but it's still good to know.
So my original goal for the day was to go into the Big Pig barn to say hi to them, but they are out and about in their fields because it is kind of warming up. So we're going to see if we can call over Amelia or Lucy to this fence line. And they're probably going to just walked outside right now. Looking around, they just got in, so let's see. Lucy! Lucy! Amelia! Amelia! Come here, Amelia! Amelia! They're slowly coming over. Amelia! Come here, good pig! Come on, good pig! Do you want to come say hello? Look, we're older big pigs. We just kind of lumber along and do our thing. What do you think? Oh, we're stopping. We're stopping. We're going poop. Amelia! We've finished. We might continue our walk. Amelia! Encouragement is required here. Amelia! Amelia! You want to come say hello? If you walk any slower, I'm going to cut to our pre-recorded video. She's working on it, you guys. She's working on it. Amelia is now, I think, 9 years old, which is unbelievable because she came here when she was just a tiny little piglet, and she still feels like our young, pushy, chatty pig that she's been all along. Hello, Miss Amelia. It's good to see you this morning. We were having some attempts at recording a video with Amelia this morning, and she just kept turning her butt on me. So there's a lot of videos of me starting and saying, this is just a little bit of footage with me and Amelia. Amelia, why are you walking away? She is a pig who we don't typically bring you in with on tours. We typically say hi from the outside of the fence because she got spoiled like the princess she is when she was young, and she's a little bit of a nibbler now. Right, Amelia? But you're so chatty and you're such a good pig. You are. You're such a good pig. And she's buddies with Lucy, who's back behind her. And they are our older big pigs here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary. You could see that she's no small animal. And she's probably around 500 to 600 pounds at this point. She's someone who, she would have been raised till she was about 6 months old. She would have already been 250 pounds, which is, pretty much where pigs should cap out at. So she is definitely one of those pigs who just kind of keeps growing because of how we've bred them. And she'll live hopefully until she's about 10 to 15 years here at Sanctuary, with a nice healthy diet. Lots of room to roam around outside, all of the medical care she can need. Amelia is actually a cancer survivor. Here she is doing what she was doing this morning, which is to say she's walking away from me, giving us a little bit more pig butt. Thank you, Amelia, for your cooperation. So she has actually survived skin cancer, and she was treated for it and is doing really well now. She got a little bit pigs, just like humans, can get skin cancer if they're out in the sun a lot. So we do put piggy sunscreen on them in sunny weather. But, she's definitely a light-skinned pig, so she can get sunburned, and that can also lead to skin cancer. So PSA, put your sunscreen on as well. We are going to walk this direction, see if we run into any of our Underfoot friends, and then say hi to Clyde and his hens. What do you think? Do we have any other questions that I should answer while we walk?
We did have some folks ask some questions earlier. So earlier we were asked how many animals live at the sanctuary.
We have about 300 or so residents who call Catskill Animal Sanctuary home at any given time. I'm not 100% sure of our exact count on this day. I could go and look at our files and tell you after. But it'd take a while for me to go and list off all of the names. So around 300.
Amelia's following us.
Amelia is one of them, but she thinks she's at least 10 of them. You got a lot of personality, what could I say? Right, Amelia? And she is someone who is always going to respond when you talk to her. Like, you could have a full conversation with Amelia. She probably knows more of what you're saying than we know what she's saying. But I say something to you, and then you respond, right? Yeah, she's good at holding a conversation. Better than some humans I know. Let's go. We'll say hi to you later, Amelia. I know you could probably smell ginger snaps in my pocket. She is still walking alongside us here. You are such a good pig, Amelia. You are so good. So we are gonna go in here with some other friends. Come on in. Oh, we're not gonna escape. Thank you. This is Zawadi. So here we have Zawadi, and her friends are Shing and Pia and Clyde, who I'm not sure if you could see at the moment. We've got a little photo so you can see them all up at once that Lauren will put up for you. Tell me how you think we can tell the difference between these birds. How do you tell the difference between all of these chickens who supposedly look alike? Leave a note in the comments. And I do also, while Zawadi walks off, I'm sorry, not Zawadi. Yes, Zawadi. While Zawadi walks off, if you want to support our work, I just want to give another little PSA. We are super grateful that all of these guys continue to not realize that the world difference is in eye color. We wouldn't necessarily use eye color as the easiest way to tell them apart as humans, for sure. Yeah, there's some differences in their faces. What do you think? I'll tell you this. They probably tell each other apart. They probably tell each other apart by looking at each other's faces and their voices and their personalities. But they can recognize the faces of other chickens, and we can too. So there's little bits of differences. It's like how you would tell identical twins apart, or just siblings who look very similar. Maybe when you meet them the first time, you get them mixed up. But once you get to know them as individuals, you're like, oh yeah, you got like, this freckle here, and you got a little wrinkle here. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna collect me, Clyde? Yes, we're gonna hop away. Sorry, Shing. Clyde came around to collect Shing back from me because he's a very good rooster. He's a very loving friend. Chickens are really, really social and smart, and they can live in these really big, complex social groups. So, sanctuary. They've been here for about a year already, or we're coming up on a year this summer, they are just such good friends. They're so sweet. They gently peck at Clyde's face to clean him off because they love him so much. And Clyde is also a good boy who likes butt scratches. Honestly, if you meet a rooster who doesn't like butt scratches, it's just a rooster who hasn't known enough love yet, most of the time. Oh, are you gonna join in? Thank you. That's so sweet of you. So Clyde is preening himself, and Zawadi is joining in and preening him as well. She's gonna come around this way and preen his face because she's a very good and loving friend. She's like, what are we cleaning? What are we cleaning, Clyde? Do you notice anything about their faces that's a little bit different than you might expect to see on a chicken? You look really close. You can also get a close-up video or a close-up photo up there. But if you look really close, Zawadi has a beak that's been cut short. So if you were watching Lauren's live stream earlier this week, you might have seen that our friend Bruce had been debeaked. He was he is a Muscovy duck who was rescued from a live market in New York City. Unfortunately, we see a lot of birds who have been rescued from situations where they were going to be used for their eggs, where they were going to be eaten. They've had their beaks cut short, so they should have a nice long beak like Mr. Clyde over there. Clyde, do you want to come over? Look at that nice beak. Look at that nice beak. Food is so much better when it's served to you from someone's hand, even if it's available all day long. Good girl, Zawadi. Yeah, honestly, who does not like room service? No one here, right? Everyone here loves room service. except for maybe Raymond. I say that 99% of our roosters are really, really sweet and love humans and are just deeply affectionate. And then there's Raymond. Raymond doesn't love room service because he'd prefer humans keep their distance. So we generally respect that for him. Right, bud? Oh, yes. You're such a good guy. You guys are so, so sweet. Yeah, these are a few of our animal friends here at the sanctuary. We're going to continue to do more live streams where you get up close and personal with our residents. We're really, really grateful for all of the support and views that we've been seeing so far. We want you to stay connected with us here at the sanctuary. We wish that we could have you here on site with us and getting in the mud with us and all of that. So we're just trying to give you the next best thing while we all stay safe out there and do our part to keep other humans safe from the coronavirus right now. But please do continue to tune in. Kathy is going to be breaking certainly a few rules this afternoon at 1 p.m.
Just a couple.
I'm going to be
Just a couple.
And we'd love to see you there as well. And just continue to follow our social media. You'll see our live streams popping up. And if you want to schedule a private visit for your group or your school, if you're a teacher, you can email Lauren at casanctuary.org. We also have up on our website now a link to fill out a registration for a private virtual visit of the sanctuary with us. They can meet educational standards for New York State. So if you go to casanctuary.org /visit, casanctuary.org/visit, then you would be able to request a private virtual visit for your group, and we would be really, really excited to bring you a little bit more Catskill Animal Sanctuary today. How are we doing on time? We are doing really well on time, which is unusual for me, because if you've been on one of my tours, you know I run a little bit long. Do we have any other questions that we wanted to answer today while our lovely chickens have a little bit of a dust bath back there?
We did have some questions that I think we're going to save for Kathy's session at 1 o'clock.
Enticing. What could those be, Lauren?
Oh, well, it'll be a surprise.
Oh, okay. So if you submitted a question and you haven't heard me answer it, Lauren has decided that you know if you submitted the question, and all those questions will be surprise questions. So you got to tune in with Kathy at 1 p.m. and we'll answer those questions there. And we are going to see, hopefully, we're going to hear a little bit about our first Catskill Animal Sanctuary residents and the origin story of our Underfoot family, who Lauren kicked off our virtual series with. So you're going to get the sort of more nitty-gritty, in-depth history of the sanctuary with Kathy today at 1 o'clock. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you are all staying healthy and safe out there. I hope that you are not going too stir-crazy in your homes. We're grateful, again, for all of the support that we've been getting from afar. And if you're feeling a little bit antsy, get up and do some jumping jacks so that you're ready to sit back down and tuck in with us at 1 o'clock today. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.